What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. Today, going over my third place Fire King deck profile. This deck just came out. It's really nice. We're playing the Sinful Spoil engine, which is I guess a bit of a spoiler. If you guys want to be playing a lower rarity engine, you guys should be definitely watching out my budget series. I'm going to be going over this structure deck times 3 and then adding $15 every week to it to upgrade it. But this is our third place deck profile, which is really nice at full power essentially. So we are playing the 2 Garunics. This is your like staple. You want to summon him out. He dumps a card from the deck, or he destroys a card from the deck. I always say dump because that's what essentially it does, but it's important to note that it does destroy, so it does trigger their effects. Then you have your essentially a Shavara here for any of you Unchained players. This card can destroy a card on your field or your hand, which is not targeting. So very nice. And then when it's destroyed, it can actually summon one from the graveyard and then pop any card on the field, which is absolutely insane for a card like this. It's also a level 8. You have level 8 monsters. This can also summon itself back. The reason why we're only playing 2 of these and we're playing 3 of these is because this cannot summon itself back from the graveyard, so it's important to note that you have multiple copies of itself. And then this one here, when it's in the grave and a card's destroyed, you can summon himself out. But if he was in your hand, you can also summon himself there. So, even if it's in the graveyard, you actually have like another copy of it in your hand, essentially, which you can play with, which is very nice. But it's important this card is like going to get hit with DD Crow or Shifter a lot of the times like that. Really hurts this deck. And then we have the little chicken nugget. This card, the reason why you play this now, this is your spell searcher, and then it comes back every standby phase when it's destroyed. It comes back to your hand, which is really nice. It also pairs well with like Kieran. If you have Kieran in your hand and then you have Phonics, you can just destroy the Phonics that add it back off the in the standby phase, and then you get it back during the following standby phase when you actually have time to play your game. Then we have the 3 Arvadas. You could cut this down to 2. I've been thinking about cutting it down to 2 because we are on the tanky package, but this is very nice, being your monster negates, and then also when it's destroyed, you can also summon one back out. And then we are on the 1 Ringo Bali. This card, essentially the spell and trap version of him, and then he's an extender, I guess. If a card's destroyed, you can summon himself out from the hand, but unfortunately, he does not have the Arvada text that, if it's destroyed, you summon one from the graveyard, which it really should have, but I guess they wanted to make it differently by letting him summon himself from the hand, which is all right. And then we're on the 1 Baron. I really want to bump this up to 2, but I find myself, a lot of the times that you actually don't really want to, and you don't want to see this card ever. This is really a card that you want to destroy off the Garunix when you summon himself out, turn 0, and then it lets you add another card to the hand. If you get enough likes, by the way, I'll be doing like a combo video about this and like a test hand video. But if you guys want to be seeing that, if not, it's fine. There's lots of that already on YouTube. But let me know in the comment section down below, as well as, hit the subscribe button and like the video. If it gets to 50 likes or something, I will do the combo video for it. But yeah, you just essentially dump this off this, and then, if you have like this, and the Fire King Island destroys and then adds this to hand, this can activate, dump, or destroy this. So now you have like these 2 cards triggering the standby phase, letting you add this back to the hand, and then adding like, let's say, a copy of Kieran there, and then you have essentially combo on your opponent's turn. A lot of this is like just playing on your opponent's turn. But that's it for the Fire King monsters here. Having a monster and a spell negate in the deck is very nice though. Kind of can't go wrong. Reminds me of the Sprite kind of package. You don't know how powerful those were. And then for the Fire King spells, we only played 2 Fire King Island and then the 2 Fire King Sanctuary. So people want to bump this up to 3 and then only play 1 of these. I really do like the 2 and 2 package because of the fact that like you do get to search this quite frequently, and you don't want to be seeing this like at all. But yeah, at the same time, you also want to be playing it and having another one in deck just in case. So like if this could activate from it from the graveyard, I wouldn't mind. But the thing is with having only 2 of these, I want to have 4 copies of the field spell essentially at all times. And this also lets you XYZ. But you just search for this and you play it. A lot of the times you don't really want to be activating it. But yeah, if this gets destroyed, it destroys all your monsters, which is very important, as well as if it gets banished. So like SP is such a crazy card right now in the format, where you could just banish this and then you essentially just lose all your monsters. Yes, they activate when they're destroyed, so you will get some pluses, but it's just very hard to combat that, especially when everything just getting destroyed. And then we are on the 1 Fire King Skyburn. This card is essentially your pops. It's also a crazy setup. If you already have this and you want to search off Phonics, you can search for this. This essentially just targets as many of your target as many Fire Kings and as many cards on the fields of your opponents and destroy them. So essentially blackout, but on crack. It's just essentially like you can burn. It's crazy against any of the Floodgates decks. and that's kind of why we're playing this card. It's an amazing search. You know, it can be a 1-for-1, it can be a 1-for-2, it can be, and like, you know, yes, you are destroying your cards that you control, but all your fire cans kind of float, so you know you're obviously getting some effects with that, and you can use it very well, even for actually a 1-for-1, and it's obviously searchable, so it's crazy against that. We are not running charge because I don't believe that card's very good with the consistency. You could be 100% playing it, but I just really didn't want to be seeing it. I didn't find it that good, but instead we are playing the 2 tennies. This is so you're searching for your copies of Arvada or the Rango Bali. You never really search for Baron, but it's just there. As well as, this is an amazing send for Black Witch and the Sinful Spoils. So we are on this package here. Obviously, you know, this card is crazy. It lets you get into your phonics without using your normal summon, and then also gets you withdrawal, which is important. A lot of times you get like hit withdrawal because this deck is very, you know, reliable. Losing on draw, you actually fire tanky, get hit withdrawal, it really does suck. But you know, if you are able to not get trolled, you can actually then just normal summon out your Avatar, and then you can go like Diabellstar or even Wanted discard, and then Diabellstar can summon himself out by destroying the Tenki, and then all of a sudden there you have, or even like this, you know, just destroy this, summon it out, then activate, then just tribute this off. Then you have your monster negate as well as your phonics. So they try ashing your phonics, you can just like destroy it off of the Avatar, which is really cool. It does have a lot of synergy as well, and it's very nice. And then you also get that additional draw. But you could also play instead of this if you wanted to, you know, for your budget players. There, I'll just point this out. You could replace these with Endear Servants, replace this with a Maximus, and then replace this with a copy of Fleur de Lis. And then all of a sudden you have your Senders, which essentially does the same thing, which can send you to get to +1. And then your Maximus here, which is what you end up searching off of your Endear package. You then get to activate the Maximus, target, or I guess banish the Garua there, which got you your +1. You summon himself out, and then you get to activate the effect, and then you get to send 2 more cards. So you send Shurag, as well as you send a copy of Titaniclad. And then Shurag will add the phonics from your deck to your hand, so essentially acting as this. Unfortunately, it does not special summon himself out, so then you will have to be able to normal summon it if you want the effect. But then you also get to have, what was I going to say? You also get to have a Titaniclad search during the end phase, which lets you then search for the copy of Fleur de Lis, which is essentially another monster negate. So you know, you get your draw that you would get off the Wanted returns and stuff like that. You get your Spellcaster that you would get off of your, I guess, Wanted, so you can still go for the Selene lines, as well as there's like a little bit more flexibility with your extra deck that you can play, because the extra deck is a little bit loose. So you can be playing stuff like that. As well as if you aren't playing the Fleur, I think you're playing the package wrong. Because if you open the Dear Servant and Maximus, you just can't play at all. You know, your servants become absolutely just dead, so there's no point of not playing Fleur. And then you also get a monster negate, which is pretty crazy, in the form of special summoning himself out. And it's a body, it's a level 8 as well. So, you know, if you want to be going for some of those other lines that we will be showing you guys, definitely worth it there. And then we have the other cards in our... We are playing the hand traps. I kind of forgot where we were going there. We play Ash, Imperm, which are like the best ones. This hits every single deck, essentially, here. So you will be wanting to maxing out. And then we're on... I know it's a little bit weird. You guys will be able to see why in a second here. We're on the 3 Nib, 3 Droll, 3 Veil... Or 2... my bad. 2, 2, and 2. For the reason of us playing these 3. So I wanted to play Cross Out for the reason of, like, this deck doesn't lose necessarily to any hand traps, but it does get hit heavily by some of them. So with that logic being, like, I don't really know what my opponents are going to be playing, because a lot of, like, this is just experimental, right? I wanted to be able to see, like, Cross Out calling, like, let's say at Ash Blossom if it's needed, or if it's not needed, you know, I just get hit with it, essentially, and having, like, 3 copies of Call by the Grave, and, like, having different versatility, because Nib is good in this format, so is Droll, and so is Veiler, but they're always good at, like, different times. So if I get hit with a Droll, if I have, like, Cross Out, I can cross the Droll, but I can still have 1 copy in my hand. I can't really, like, say, oh yeah, I'll play 1 copy of Droll and then get hit with Cross Out, especially when it's still good in this format. It's also extremely easy to side out. Let's say you're playing against Labyrinth, you can just take out so many of these cards and put in other cards for you to play, which is just nice to be able to decide out correctly with these 2 and 2 and 2 hand traps. You don't really get hit with Droll though. Or you don't get hit with Nib really. I will say that. That's a 40 card main deck. Now we go into the extra deck. We are on the 2, the extremely big chicken, the the fire chicken here, he's gotten right out of the oven. And just going to be ready to blow up your opponent's field. This is a dark hole on leg when you summon it during your opponent's turn with a spell card, and then it can like destroy spells and traps as well by detaching material. And if it's destroyed while it has material, it summons out the exact same amount of like material that it had, which is cool. Dingirsu, just we wanted a non-targeting send. This helps out dragoons and stuff like that are pretty difficult, especially in our locals with Chimera running around. We definitely have to find a way to out that. Then we have these Sky Thraces as well as these Zeus. You know, this is our XYZ lineups. If you've been playing around, if you have any XYZs, you're playing Zeus, and then obviously this card's absolutely crazy. It's a main deck staple now, which is very nice for our 5 XYZs. And then for links, we're on the Link Almirage, the Link Karibo, IP, and SP, our little P package. And then we're on Hita, Sunlight Wolf, Decode, and Celine, as well as a final copy of Axco Talker. So this is here to link away your stuff. This is for your copy if you want to be able to get like into SB. If you have like the little guy and you want to have to link it away, and you have it next. You have a extra deck monster that you can go for into. If you have extra bodies on the field, you can go for IP. This is 100% cuttable. It's just to go into this, which you can happen if you don't have a way to get like your 2 level 8s on the field. You can just like use your IP to go into SP and like pop it during your opponent's turn. He does because you're playing a fire deck, as well as a lot of other people are going to be playing this deck. It's a very popular deck right now due to the fact that it just came out in the structure deck. So, you know, you guys will be playing it. You can end up taking like a Kieran like that. That's just absolutely amazing. This is for you to add back. Adding back a card like Kieran or a copy of or Ash Blossom is just absolutely amazing. You know, being able to add back anything. And also, so you go into a Heatzel, which is like, this is also the reason why I have to play Link Karibo. A lot of time you go Link Karibo and then Sunlight Wolf, and then you have to go into like 2 different attributes here, which unfortunately, you know, Almirage is a fire. So, you know, you can go like this, into this, and then you get to search, or you either draw essentially here. And drawing like, with all those hand traps in the deck feels absolutely amazing. As well, you can never have too many Kierans in your hand. You'll find that you're still having a lot of card in the hand because you have like, always to come like the returning of like Phonics becoming back in standby phase, which is absolutely insane. And then we are on some spells, so we are on the Celine and the Axe Code package. We needed like a little push kill button here, so that's what we went for this for. But just overall, amazing. The extra deck is extremely flexible. You can essentially play whatever you want. There's also different variants that you could play. Like you can play the Tri-Brigade package as well. And now for the side deck. Obviously, you know, this was the first time that we were playing this deck. At first, locals we ended up taking it to, but ended up winning, or getting 3rd place, which is pretty nice. Only losing once, but it is still a work in progress. We're on the 2 talents because this is a heavy hand trap format here. And then we are on the 3 anti-spells fragrance. This is just for like hard matchups. It's the same theory as I have when I play Unchained. I can side out a lot of my spells. Like when I look at it, like I can side out my 10 keys. I can, like after my first turn, once it's not that great. Same with like crossouts. Other than that, it's just like, if I'm not getting to my spells in the first turn, essentially I'm probably losing anyways. So if I already like activated my Fire King Island and then have my spell, anti-spell really doesn't do anything, and it helps those blow cards like Cosmics. They forced to either go for this or for going for my Fire King Island. So which is really nice because if they want to blow up my field, that's fine. I get to keep an anti-spell fragrance, but if they want to just go for this, they have to waste their anti-spell. They have to waste their Cosmic on an anti-spell, which is fine with me. It helps me not get hit with Duster and also like TTT, which is pretty nice because you do play monster effects during your opponent's turn. Like Kieran's going to activate. Summon Faunus going to add back during the standby phase. So immediately in the standby phase, you're already playing a thrust because you have to activate the effect essentially. So then you play in the thrust, which plays into any like spells. So having anti-spell just feels absolutely amazing when you know you're going to be forced to play into it, which is kind of sucks. Then we're on the 1 Duster and the 2 Sky King Barons. So a lot of the time I am playing Cosmic Cyclone, but for this deck strictly, I'm actually playing 2 Sky King Burns instead of like the 2 Duster, the 2 Lightning Storms, and then anything else. Because of the fact that this is searchable, as well as it actually is controllable of like what I want. So do I want to be going for a 1-for-1, which the 1-for-1 like is Phonics and it adds back during standby phase. So I'm just burning the 1 card. Or do I want to go for like a whole field burn? I got to control what I want. A lot of time this goes in for like a matchup like Rescue Ace or Labyrinth, where I have to like go around stuff. It also plays around Imperm as well, which people are completely forgetting about, because you can activate the effect. They target it with Imperm. You send it, essentially you destroy it for cost, and then Imperm does not resolve on it, and then you just get whatever effect you really want, which is amazing. And then we are on the 1 Droll and 1 Nib to finish off our playsets. If you're playing against a heavy like combo deck like Vanadium, Dragon Link, you want to be deciding these in. You want to have the maximum chance of seeing them. So you end up putting them in. Not really complicated there. And then we are on the 3 copies of Droll here. Or not Droll, Crow. DD Crow is all right this format. It's a really hit or miss for me. I like it because of the fact that I got to control what I hit. I was thinking about the Bestials, but the problem with the Bestials is what am I going to do with them? Like if I have Sorneer, or I guess Druisworm, and then Magnemut, 2/2 or 2/1, or even just going for 3 Druisworm, it's like, what am I actually doing with those? Like, how do I get rid of them? I guess, yes, it can be like S or IP material and stuff like that, but that just gets a little bit too much. I want to see an opening hand and be able to like discard and hit like a Chimera Fusion, or any of like the, even like hitting a good card in the graveyard or a spell card for Rescue Ace matchups and not to be able to activate the effects. Or hitting even like an Albion for Branded, or hitting in this deck, being able to hit like a Garunix. Like a lot of players are going to be playing this deck. So if you're able to snipe the Phonics out of the graveyard before they can activate the effects, which is a fire monster, so you cannot Bestial it, it feels really nice. As well as, even like in the Bestial Runic matchup, being able to like hit one away, one of their good cards, so they can't put it back, or a Cartesia feels absolutely nice as well. Just gives me a lot more control. And then I am playing 2 Ghost Spell here. So this is actually a little bit of a tech, if you wish. I think Ghost Spell is crazy this format. I don't think it's like main deckable, but because of the fact that like this deck loses to Ghost Spell, which is why we're playing the 2 and 2, because obviously if we draw it, we still have the crossouts for it in the deck. But like it's hit against Rescue Ace, it's good against this deck, it's good against Branded, it's good against the Bestials, it's good against a lot of the stuff here. I guess it's also crazy against Runic. You want to put back in the deck and draw? I don't think so. And it's good against Chimera. There's just so many decks that it is good against. But the thing is once they know you're playing it, they can build their chains around it, which is very important to note. Like, so obviously if you hit them turn 1 with it, they'll be playing around it for the rest of the game here. So putting it into the side is very nice, but do keep in fact of that. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile, and if you guys want to be seeing anything else, let me know in the comment section down below. This deck is extremely fire, no pun intended there. And lots of cool stuff that you can do. There's different variants of this deck as well, but I thought this one would be the one with the most success. It's very straightforward, just going for your Wanted Engine, but just deals with consistency issues, which is always nice. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See you next one. Stay safe. Peace.